Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Some adjustments will have to be made by both teams here as the weather has turned nasty and rain will be coming down throughout this game. Let's see who can manage the wet conditions better. It's the Cowboys going up against the Seahawks. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle as we're off to CenturyLink Field to link up with our broadcast team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
10 yards still left on second down. They go again with Rawls. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Malik Collins in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks, another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run on our way back to the quarterback. And that philosophy works for them very well.
49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
One thing he does very well, he takes care of the football. Had 176 pass attempts to start his career without an interception. That's the most in NFL history. And finished his rookie year, 23 touchdown passes and only 4 interceptions.
Carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Prescott now on 2nd down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
A 1st down carry by Elliott, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, Prescott. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And now a 1st down following that long gain. Here's the 1st carry now for Todd Gurley. About 3 yards there to the 27. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stacked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Prescott down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
In the red zone this time. They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The numbers for him from a week ago. 3 catches, 130 yards.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
And the wideout in motion. Now Elliott. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
It's a short kick taken near the 18, and he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score as they take over here 1st and 10. Defense showing blitz. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain. And
it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Purdue man, this is Akeem Hunt. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Point after now from Catanzaro. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it. And that's what you don't want to do.
Holding offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. I want to take that course.
Here's Prescott. That's Samuel, caught left side. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 84 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They start on the ground with Rawls. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
This is Rawls. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Take it in at the 22. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you worked on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A handoff left to Elliott. They find some open field here. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Bailey now to kick this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now Wilson on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Sean Spence coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football. And he's going to go down again. Alec Ogletree. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a fourth down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll bring them back within 4. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Is fielded at the 2. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store. And out now come the Cowboys. We have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first down. Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now Wilson on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point. Now you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Hakeem Hunt, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Bailey now to kick this one away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. 95 yards. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Bailey now to kick this one away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
This is intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. On first down, it's Gurley. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his third touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Courtney Upshaw in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid. And the pressure gets to him again. Courtney Upshaw in there to drop him for the second straight play. They may want to block him on 3rd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he gets it down to the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. 10th carry now for Elliott. And some room to roam now. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Second down, Prescott. Right side complete to Butler. And down inside the 15 he goes. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A give to Elliott running left. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult.
Oh, this is blocked. It's picked up, a live ball. And now look at him go. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. Kick this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
There's Wilson, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On is the punter, Iraion, to send this one away. Taken in at the 11. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Bailey now to kick this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And he is knocked down from the side, right on the 30-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again. They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Wilson, and he will find his man on the end route, complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
One last shot for Wilson, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Cowboys, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Seattle.